Times-2 is one of the most space-efficient and versatile multimedia storage systems on the market. This installation guide covers basic information on assembling a starter and add-on units, plus some of our popular accessories, including a security drawer, reference shelf, and wardrobe kit. Let's get started. Here are the tools you'll need. A ratchet handle with a 2-inch extension, a 1/2-inch hex socket, and a 3/8-inch open end wrench, a bubble level, rubber hammer, carpenter's hammer, Phillips screwdriver, tape measure. Starter units are packed in multiple boxes. The starter base box contains a starter canopy top, rotor top, starter base with rotor bottom attached, lock rod. Starter door box has 2 doors, 1 center panel, 4 vinyl strips, 2 posts, 1 with lock, 1 without lock. Starter base box also contains a hardware package with touch-up paint, 1/4-inch square socket, 8 5/16 18 by 3/4 bolts, 4 5/16 18 Tinnerman nuts, 2 canopy top hole covers, 38 10-24 by 3/8-inch screws, and 38 10-24 U-clips. The last starter box has 2 end panels and 2 posts with no lock. Add-on units are similarly packed. The add-on base box contains a slightly smaller sized base with rotor bottom attached and an add-on canopy top, rotor top, and lock rod. The add-on door box has 2 doors, 1 center panel, 4 vinyl strips, 2 posts, 1 with lock, 1 without lock. The add-on base box also contains a hardware package with 2 U-clamps, 6 5/16 18 by 3/4-inch bolts, 2 5/16 18 Tinnerman nuts, 38 10-24 by 3/8-inch screws, 38 10-24 U-clips. You will also have boxes of shelves, dividers, and other accessories. Check everything against your packing list. It's important to check your floor plan for placement and configuration before you begin. Installation begins with preparing the base. Before assembly of this unit, loosen the rotor bottom nut 2 turns, counterclockwise, using a 3/4-inch end wrench. Remove the lock access hole cover and set it aside. Using a 4-inch square socket, lower all 4 leveling screws. This can be as much as a 1/2 inch or more in areas with heavy carpets to leave enough clearance for a fully loaded unit which will compress the carpet. Inspect the lock mechanism by pushing down the foot pedal and making sure the horizontal lock bar engages into the latch crank. Release the foot pedal. The pedal should stay in the down position. This is simulating a free spin position. Position bases a minimum of 5 7/8 inch from the wall for letter size units and 7 1/8 inch from the wall for legal size units. Begin with the starter on the left and position add-on bases to the right of the starter. Determine the high point of the floor if very uneven. Level from the highest point out. Using a 4-inch square socket and bubble level, level the first unit from front to back, then from side to side. All 4 leveling screws must share the load equally. When the first base unit is level, proceed to the next. Visually check the horizontal plane of all base units, both front and rear. If they are aligned, join all bases together using the U-clamps. Release the rotor bottoms from free spin. You are now ready to install the doors and center panels. Take the U-clips and slide them onto the rotor bottom and the inner doors so that the clip hangs onto the sheet metal. Next, slide the door onto the locator tabs of the rotor bottom. The edge of the door with the return is the bottom of the door. Pull the door flush against the rotor bottom and over the locator tabs to ensure a snug fit. Now place the center panel against the door. The holes in both the door and the rotor must be aligned with the holes in the center panel. If not, rotate the center panel so that the side flange is now on the opposite side. Use the number 10 machine screws provided to attach the center panel to the door and the rotor bottom. Slide the remaining door onto the rotor bottom and attach with number 10 machine screws. Now you're ready to install the rotor top. If the unit is 6-tier or taller, you might find it easier to use a step stool or ladder for this part. Check that the flanges on the rotor top are perfectly straight and that all 4 corners at the top of the doors are open. Starting at one door corner, slip the rotor top flange between the hemmed edge of the door. Using a rubber hammer, gently tap in, working toward opposite corner. Note: the center panel must slide between the slotted strips on the rotor top. Check the fit at all 4 corners before finishing. With the unit still in free spin, slide the tongue side of the posts into the post channels of the end panel. Place a completed end panel assembly without lock on the starter base on the left side. Fasten with a bolt through the middle hole of the post to the base. Do this for the front and the back. Bolt the end panel assembly with lock to the right of the starter base, lock to the front. For add-on units, bolt the add-on post with lock to the right front of the starter base. Note the lock is 31 inches from bottom of the post. Slide 4 Tinnerman nuts over the holes in starter canopy top. Place the starter canopy top on the starter unit. The pivot pin slides into the bronze bushing of the rotor top and bolts into place. Note that the canopy attachment holes face right. Fasten with a bolt through the middle hole of the post. Do this for the front and the back. Slide 2 Tinnerman nuts over the holes in the add-on canopy top. Place the top on the add-on unit. Weld nuts in the add-on canopy top face the canopy attachment holes. Bolt the canopy tops together. Snap the finishing plugs into the canopy top attachment holes of the last unit and release units from the free spin position. Beginning with the starter unit, rotate the unit 45 degrees to expose the inside of the unit. Reach your fingers through the lock access hole so you can feel if the rod is penetrating through the horizontal lock bar. Insert the pointed end of vertical lock rod through the aligned holes of the post and base into the hole in the horizontal lock bar. Remember, do not bend the horizontal lock bar. Gently pull the vertical lock rod up and down. When installed correctly, the horizontal lock bar will move right and left. Position the top of the vertical lock rod so that the curved neck bends away from the lock barrel. Slip the vertical lock rod onto the screw on the cam and screw on the lock nut. The lock nut only secures the rod. Do not over-tighten and bind the rod. Try the lock and pedal. Do not lock the unit in the 45-degree position. Allow the unit to click shut before locking. When the unit is locked, the foot pedal cannot be depressed and the unit cannot be rotated. Match the top end of the vinyl with the top of the post. Be sure that the bottom also matches. Press the vinyl firmly into the post receiving notch by hand and work your way from top to bottom. Spin each unit separately. Listen for any hitting on the vinyl strips and adjust leveling as needed. Installing slides for drawer accessories. Times-2 has a variety of accessories such as reference shelves, roll-out drawers, tub and security drawers, media drawer, and roll-out hanging folder frames that attach to the unit with slides on either side of the accessory. The first step with any of these accessories is to install the slides into the unit. This side of the slide is installed toward the doors. Install the large hook on the rear louver. Pivot the slide to insert the small hook in the front louver. To remove the slide, disengage the tab from the underside of the front louver and lift the slide out of the louver. Now that you're ready for the accessory, note the slot openings on the side of the accessory. One opens downward in front, and the other opens to the rear. Insert the rear opening of the accessory in the rear inside bayonet of the slide. Insert both left and right sides simultaneously. Wardrobe Kit. The Times-2 Wardrobe Kit turns any 5 to 8 tier unit into a storage tower for coats, tablets, laptops, and other personal items. The wardrobe panel comes with the panel extension already in place. If the wardrobe panel is to be used above a roll-out drawer with hanging folders or hanging folder frame, remove the extension. It will not be needed. If the wardrobe panel is being used in a 5-tier unit, the panel will rest on the rotor bottom. In 6-tier, 7-tier, or 8-tier units, a separately ordered shelf must be installed for the wardrobe panel to rest on. The bottom of the panel, or extension, has 2 tabs that will fit in the divider slots in the rotor bottom or shelf. Put the wardrobe panel in the unit on an angle, then place the tabs in the middle slots in the rotor bottom or shelf and rotate the panel until it is straight up and down. Use one of the half shelves provided to space the wardrobe panel at the top. The shelf is installed like any other Times-2 shelf. Using one of the self-drilling screws that have been provided with the kit, secure the top of the wardrobe panel to the rotor top through the clearance hole in the top flange of the wardrobe panel. Remove the previously installed half shelf and then screw the other side of the wardrobe panel to the rotor top using a self-drilling screw. Now the half shelves and wardrobe hook can be placed in the unit wherever desired. Now to assembling one of our most popular accessories. The media drawer is used for storing DVDs, office supplies, small parts, pharmaceuticals, or whatever item you have to store. Now, install the drawer onto the slides of the unit. The drawer front must be attached to the drawer. Install the drawer front by sliding it on the lower lip of the drawer. Install 2 clips per side, using a hammer to gently tap on the clips. Install the drawer back and dividers as required. Shelves. The shelves and accessories are the last step of the installation. Make sure to check the plan for placement of any accessories. The louvers on the inside of the doors are dimpled on every sixth front louver for a standard shelf opening of 10 inches. Check the spacing required and slide the shelves in place. The front and back flanges on both sides of the shelves fit into the front and back louvers on both doors on the same plane. The back of each shelf has a slotted strip for support of shelf dividers. Shelf dividers. A normal 10-inch opening takes the standard number 461 shelf divider. In standard units, 2 shelf dividers are provided for each letter shelf, and 3 are provided for each legal shelf. Times-2 from Aurora Storage Products.